Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jamaica News in Review. Triple murder at shop in Clarendon. 3 men were shot and killed at a shop in Fronkfield, Clarendon on Friday night. The deceased has been identified as shopkeeper Cesar Ricketts of Granham District in Clarendon, 42-year-old Kelvin Anderson, otherwise called Styler, a truck operator of Peckham District in the parish, and 56-year-old Delroy Facey, otherwise called Skengdon, a former of Belmont District in the parish. Reports are that about 9:45 p.m., the 3 men were at Ricketts' shop when a SUV drove up and armed men alighted from the vehicle opened fire at the trio before escaping. The police were alerted and upon their arrival, found the 3 men suffering from gunshot wounds. The victims were taken to the Mapen Hospital where they were confirmed dead. A level of madness among young men. Member of Parliament for Southern St. James, Homer Davis, has labelled last week's killing of 5 members of one family in his constituency as a level of madness among young men. Davis, who was speaking to reporters following Wednesday and Friday night's double and triple murder in the Roehampton community, said the bloodletting has been ongoing for several weeks. It's not only over the last 4 days, this has been going on for over 2 months now, where in that space between Roehampton, Stonemill, Lawson and Trovey, some 10 persons were killed, Davis said. There were also some persons who were killed outside of the area who are from the area. Over the past 2 days, 3 days, we had a double murder in a place called Stonemill. We had another double murder up in Mars on Wednesday night, and last night we had a triple murder. So in less than a week, we have a total of 7 murders in that space, and it is very heartrending to say this, but there is a level of madness among young men that is taking place. He continued, sounding baffled. It is just beyond me to see why young men have embarked on this destructive path, and I can tell you, I don't think last night is the end. Last night might be the beginning of more things to happen. Sharing that family members who were killed, all cousins, were well known to him, the MP appealed to the relevant authorities for intervention to put an end to the violence and get justice for the families of the slain. I am calling on all the necessary agencies of government that can go in and offer some level of comfort to the family, some level of assurance to the people, and that includes the police, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and all social agencies that are a part of this administration. The Area 1 Major Investigation Division is investigating both incidents. Davis said, declaring a zone of special operation in the area will depend on the recommendation of the police. The Police High Command recommends the security measures that are needed, and I am sure that the Minister of National Security and the government will act if the recommendations are strong enough and the situation warrants it, Davis said. According to the latest data from the police, up to April 30, St. James recorded 54 murders, the highest across all the police divisions, and 28 shootings. The high crime rate forced the government to declare 2 14-day states of public emergency in the parish since the start of the year. Suspected drowning at sea in Hanover. The Sandy Bay Police in Hanover are probing a case of suspected drowning, which occurred in the community on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified so far as Puno, a cabinet maker of Mount Pele in Sandy Bay. It is reported that the now deceased and other men from the community went fishing at sea on several small boats. It is further reported that while at sea, his boat overturned and he got pulled under the water. An alarm was raised and a search was launched. Around 10:45 a.m., his body was found and removed from the water. The scene was processed by the Sandy Bay Police. Dead man motor car found on roadway in St. Elizabeth. Police in St. Elizabeth are trying to unravel what led to the killing of a man at Cashew in Slight District, St. Elizabeth, Sunday morning. The man, which preliminary investigations identified as 45-year-old Kevin Baker from a compound in the parish, was found dead on the roadway beside a motor car. It was reported that around 1:30 a.m., a police team on mobile patrol responded to a radio message that a body of a man was seen lying on a section of the Cashew Main Road. The team responded, and on their arrival, the body was seen lying on its back in the middle of the road with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the face. Businessman injured in Linstead gun attack. A businessman was shot and injured in Linstead, St. Catherine on Saturday night. It is reported that around 8 o'clock, he was making his way home after closing his pharmacy when he was attacked while traveling along the Jericho Main Road. The businessman, who is a pharmacist and a clergyman, was shot multiple times. He was assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where he was admitted. The attack has left members of the business community in shock. I have known him for years and saw him evolve into a businessman and deacon in my church, so the church and the general community are affected, counsel for the Linstead Division, Herbert, stated. The Linstead police are probing the shooting. It was not revealed if the businessman was robbed in the attack. No motive has been established. Duppy Dolly shot by cronies, charged for attempted break-in. A man accused of pointing a gun through the window of a home and ordering the householder to open the door has been slapped with several charges resulting from the incident. Logan Taylor, also known as Duppy Dolly, a 36-year-old laborer from Stony Hill in Lewis, St. Anne, was arrested after he was reportedly shot by his cronies a few days after the attempted hold-up. Taylor has been charged with attempted burglary, assault on common law, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. The alleged hold-up reportedly occurred in Bottomchester District in St. Anne. No court date has been given for the accused. It was reported that around 12:45 a.m. on May 25, 2023, a man armed with a handgun went to a home in Bottomchester and attempted to kick off the householder's door to get in. When this did not work, the man went to a window, pointed the firearm at the householder, and ordered him to open the door. The householder made an alarm, and the would-be burglar ran from the premises. Last Wednesday, Taylor was shot and injured by men known to him, the police said, and was found at his home and taken to hospital. Following investigations, he was charged in connection with the attempted hold-up. Taylor remains in police custody. St. Anne police probing shooting death of 31-year-old man at bar in Mansfield Heights early yesterday morning. The Authorized Criminal Investigations Branch in St. Anne is probing the shooting death of a 31-year-old man at a bar in Mansfield Heights in the parish early Sunday morning. Dead is Odain Hall, otherwise Colrotty, of Gully Road, Aracabessa, St. Mary. Reports are that about 12:15 a.m., Hall was at a bar when two masked men approached him with firearms. They fired at Hall, hitting him several times before escaping. Hall was pronounced dead at hospital. Man of unsound mind reportedly shot by police. A St. Catherine man, who is said to be of unsound mind, has been hospitalized after he was reportedly shot and injured by a police party outside Linstead yesterday afternoon. According to reports, at about noon, the cops approached the man who was armed with a machete at the location called Ochi Bus Stop. He was ordered to drop the weapon, but he disobeyed and challenged the police, who shot him in the leg and arm. He was taken to the Linstead Hospital, where he was admitted. The Independent Commission of Investigations and Inspectorate and Professional Standard Oversight Bureau have launched a probe into the incident. Suspect in St. Anne bomb threat arrested. The police have detained the man who recorded himself issuing a bomb threat at the Ruby Station service in Old St. Anne on Sunday. The 25-year-old man was picked up in Hull St. Catherine on Monday afternoon. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, head of the St. Catherine South Police, said the man was found about 12:30 and will be handed over to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC. A senior investigator told reporters that the man will likely be charged for breaches of the Cybercrime Act. Under the law, a person convicted in the parish court of transmitting messages that constitute a threat faces a maximum fine of $4 million or 4 years in prison. A conviction in the circuit court carries a tougher sentence of 10 years behind bars. The threat, which was posted on social media, disrupted the operations of several businesses in Ocho Rios after the police cornered off a section of the town. No bomb was found. The police had asked the person who claimed responsibility for the threat via TikTok to report to the nearest police station. The man, who said he was an artist, described the bomb threat as a prank for promotional purposes. Second person dies following motorcycle crash in Tower Isles. A second person has died following Friday's motorcycle crash on the Tower Isles Main Road in St. Mary. Regis Ball, 34, of Days Mountain in the parish, died of his injuries Sunday in hospital. His father, 60-year-old Seve Ball, died of the injuries on Friday evening. It's reported that Mr. Ball and his son were traveling on a motorcycle when he lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into a sign pole. The injured men were rushed to hospital, where the father was pronounced dead and the son admitted in serious condition. Whole heap of gunshot. When a handful of men suddenly moved into their community residence of compound, had no idea they were wanted by the police, who had labeled them murderous gangster members. It was only when the dust settled on Saturday, after a fire gunshot between members of the Joint Police Military Operation and the men, that residents learned their identity. The man them never give any problem, and then just coming at the place not doing much. So it was a surprise when we hear them in a gang and a murder people, said one resident among the few willing to talk. He refused to give his name. According to Spot Valley residents who requested not to be named, the thugs' unfamiliarity with the terrains appeared to have been their downfall. They say it was a section heavy with tree and overgrown bushes where the confrontation took place, with the armed men trying to take over the security forces took evasive action while returning fire. How I hear it, the man them have the river behind them, which have a deep gully, so because of that they couldn't run and go down in a barney town or whatever, and that's how the police get them, one man remarked. Compound, a relatively quiet area, sits in the hills nested between Spot Valley and Barneytown in St. James. The area made the news on Saturday when words came that gunmen had engaged cops and soldiers in a shootout in Spot Valley. At the end of it, 3 armed men were dead, 24-year-old Nestor Zado Gallimore, along with siblings 24-year-old Javon and 19-year-old Jadine Henry. As the Jamaica Constabulary Force media release described the events, 2 of the gunmen killed were among Jamaica's most wanted, and all 3 are believed to be responsible for at least 10 murders in the parish. Gallimore is said to have been on the police radar since 2019, when he was held on a shooting charge in retirement St. James. There are also unconfirmed reports that the group is responsible for a recent double murder in Dumfries section of the parish, among other killings. In the meantime, a visit to compound on Sunday saw more doors firmly shut and residents unwilling to speak about what took place the day before. 2 men who were seen in a car quickly pointed out that they were not from the area, merely passing through. One resident of compound, though, described what the standoff sounded like. "Is a whole heap of gunshot bust up there," he told reporters. The man said the explosions could be heard from across a number of other communities in the area. "The thing never normal," he added. He also repeated rumors swirling since Saturday that a lawman had been injured during the shootout. Police sources have told reporters, though, that none of their own was shot during the confrontation. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the